Hello, everybody. It's Thursday again. Guess what? Guess what?
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. I got to go fishing for the first time in forever today. Caught some fish. That was
Hey.
fun.
And you know what's even better?
What?
We have our youngest
Youngest
guest on
ever.
the show.
A total of 6 days.
6 days old. Look at her.
So let's introduce everybody.
Charlie. Charlie. Miss Charlie
And-
sleeping.
And she brought company. She brought the Shepherd Construction folks. So
Well, I mean, she can't technically walk yet, so she needed somebody to
she
carry
drove.
her in.
She drove up here. I seen it.
Oh,
She's
okay.
rocking and rolling already.
Oh, I mean, hey.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Good.
I didn't get to go fishing, so I'm not as good as.
Not as good as some.
I thought I'd messed up because I got out there and that wind was blowing and I didn't put on enough clothes this morning. I was like, man, I'm gonna
He
freeze
said he was
to death
cold.
pretty much all day.
It's blowing today.
But the fish were biting, so I didn't give up.
Blows it right in your mouth.
So what's going on with you guys? Anything exciting? Other than the obvious?
Baby.
I mean, how much more exciting can you get right there?
That's pretty exciting.
So I'm going to kick it off with a question.
Okay.
How long have y'all been doing Shepherd's Construction?
For 10 years and
Travis, you're going to have to get closer or make it come closer to you. There you
10
go.
years in June, right? June? Sometime in the summer. Be 10 years.
10 years.
On
Wow.
our own. Yeah.
Okay.
Prior to that, I worked for multiple guys in town,
Right.
you know, being a subcontract, being subbed out. But
I've got
Okay.
some pictures that Kayla sent us of some work. Looks like you do showers, decks.
we do a lot of, we've built houses from the ground up, but we do a lot of remodel. I mean, most of the houses around the lake's been built in the 70s or the 80s. A lot of them, last time they were remodeled were the 90s or the early 2000s. So that the remodel stuff keeps us going. People always want a fresh new floor or don't want to take a shower in somebody else's grime. So we,
So do you do the work yourself or do you contract some of it out?
I do most everything that has to do with remodeling myself, minus the stuff of like the trades that you need licensed in, like electrician and plumbing.
Right. Okay.
And HVAC. And I've been in it long enough now. I've got good connections with all those people. So unlike most contractors, I don't take a percentage off of using those guys.
Mm-hmm.
We just got a good enough system that I can get them in a timely manner, and the same works out. When they need something, I try to be there for them, and that way you're not waiting 2 more weeks to get your work done, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it keeps this little town going around.
You kind of make it sound like Blanzy may bust out some sheetrock from time to time or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing with trailers in the lake area is a lot of times you have rotten floor underneath that water heater. So
Yeah, right.
I've fixed a lot of subfloor and stuff like that for Blangy, and yeah, there's been, with the HVAC guys and stuff, there's been some units up in attics and stuff like that where, you got to cut out some sheetrock and pull out a unit and
Mm-hmm.
get to go back and fix that.
Yeah, ours here in this building is up in the attic, and it was a 2x2 hole to get them in and out. And so us building the stairs and doing that's gonna make it a little bit easier if we ever need to get them out of there. Not a lot.
Get a way to get up there anyway.
Yeah. That would have been terrible trying to get them down a ladder.
But yeah, so we've been doing. I like, for the most part, I learned how to do tile and stuff when I first started out. I first started out kind of up here doing upholstery work with Michael Marshall, and he was having me cut out boat seats. Boats get the water in them all the time, and the seats rot out. So I was cutting pieces of plywood, and he would rewrap them and reupholster them and stuff. And his brother come in who owned a construction company, and he goes, well, if you can cut a piece of plywood, you can cut a 2x4. We're building a house. Why don't you come come help me build this house, and that's how I started. And he taught me how to lay tile and stuff like that, and it's been a godsend ever since. It's kept me going, you know.
Well, that's good.
But,
Yeah, you're getting big jobs going at the moment.
right now it's just a bunch of smalls. A lot of time with around here hit about Thanksgiving and it slows down, and then February, March when spring hits and taxes come in and people figure out what the government's going to do, they let the pocketbook out a little bit.
Right.
People start going, hey, it'd be nice to sit out on a new deck right there also.
This week would have been real good.
Yep. I sat out on mine a few days this week. So.
I bet. But I see you out running around in short sleeves even when it's 40 degrees.
Yes. Freeze me to death. Martin Thomas said he done a great job on my floor.
That was a fun, beautiful floor.
I had a question before I read that. Now, my brain's not working.
We've not been
You
sleeping
said
good. I think it's the weather change.
That's what saying.
Something
You
going
said
on.
spring, and I am just like, can it just hurry up and get here? I'm ready for sunshine and being able to sit outside and all of that good stuff. So how'd the little ones enjoy the snow? And we really didn't get much snow this last time. It was
Yeah,
more
we-
ice.
Yeah,
It
it wasn't
was.
as much snow. But they really enjoy it. I mean,
I'm sure they do.
we got a handful of kayaks and a pretty good hill, so they make the best of it.
Did y'all end up on the hill down there with Blangy and them on that first round?
No, but that looked fun. That
Yeah, it
looked like a
did.
good time.
And apparently Blangy
I
ate
wish
it
I
pretty
would have
good.
went over there. They don't have near as much brush at the bottom of that hill as we do ours. We get down to the bottom of ours and you got to roll off. So. But this is the first year it snowed on my birthday. I hadn't had a year where it snowed on my birthday.
Oh
So
yeah,
First
happy belated birthday. I think I already told you that, but
I try to do those on Facebook. Hey, Facebook is a lifesaver when it comes to that.
Travis is weird, and if he doesn't tell them happy birthday on their birthday on Facebook, he'll delete them.
Travis.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He's like, well, if I'm not gonna tell him
if
happy
I'm not
birthday.
friendly enough to tell you happy birthday, when
Well,
it's your
that's
birthday,
fair.
no
That's
reason
fair.
for you to be on there no more. So.
I guess that'd be tough to filter though.
Well, I figure it's their birthday. They're probably not noticing somebody deleted them. So.
Yeah. I'm just talking about it seems like a lot of work to go through and figure out who did and didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it tells you that it's their birthday anyway. So
Yeah.
Just
So
not
just
tell
click
the
on
person
it and delete them,
delete.
I guess. Oh, Travis. So you may get yourself in trouble.
Nah.
Yeah,
You
most
telling
of
off
it's-
on yourself.
Most of it's probably people I met once in college or
That's fair.
something like that, and it's just don't have anything to do with each other's lives anymore.
probably
so.
not people he'd recognize in public if they went out.
Right, right. So how do you try to get all of your materials local?
For the most part, I will give FL Davis Building Materials that business for sure. They have their lumber prices and stuff like that. It's hard to beat them. And you know, I've worked out of town and in places like Conway or even in South Arkansas and stuff, and tell people, you know, the prices and stuff, and the big box stores down there go, yeah, we can't beat them. They got a good supplier or something, but I mean, I've put material lists together and they've been $1.50 more a board cheaper, and when you're ordering a couple hundred boards, that adds up quick. So,
Those indeed.
and getting it local, I mean, if I got a problem or I need more, I can just go up there and deal with
Right.
it, you know, and everybody at the back counter knows me by name. It's easy for people to call up there and go, this is my card number, or he's allowed to buy this on my account. He's working for me this week. And,
Right.
and then it's not a whole bunch of taking tickets back and forth or anything like that.
Yeah, I can see that being real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he likes to go help them load it, so then he gets to pick out his own lumber. He's very picky.
that's a big thing with me too.
Well, you kind of have to be.
Yeah, you do.
Well, unless
Depending
you
on what
want to
you're doing.
order a surplus and then handle taking it back and stuff like that. I'll order a few extra boards here and there to make sure in case something does have a knot or something like that. But I like to go up there and look down the boards and load them up. And even if I send Kayla up there and go, hey, I need this board, they know, hey, Travis wants a
He's picky.
straight board. You know?
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on FLs. I mean, that's just
Well, no,
that's
'cause-
just lumber business.
Absolutely, because I was fixing to say, I mean, I've been up there tons of times where he sends me up there for boards like I know what's what. But anyway, and they will check it before they even put it on the trailer or in the truck or, whatever. So, I mean, they try. They just can't help if the
With
board
Home
is.
Depot or Lowe's, they'll just grab it with the forklift and give you
Yeah.
whatever. They don't care.
Well, one thing I like about it is I kind of like the crooked lumber and all that stuff. It makes it really easy to blame something other than my work.
I've had ladies throw fits because we built the deck and two of the boards have knots in them. It's like, try to find a pine tree without a knot. in it.
Exactly. But see, and I'm one of those weird ones. I like the knots. I don't like a warped board, but I like the knots and the wormholes and
It adds character.
Yeah, it
exactly. I like that. But that's just me. Sorry, we have a little one that's asking, can she call in?
Well, of course. Is she doing it now?
I don't know.
Oh,
I just texted her and told her she could.
okay.
We've done some work where people want that is more of the naughty look and the rustic look. One of my favorite jobs I've done, of course, it was during the off season for them, was up at the Natural Bridge, and they got the little cabins up.
All right, which I'm gonna ask a dumb question. Which natural bridge? Because there's
The
more
one
than
that
one around here.
run up above Clinton.
Okay, we went there one time and it was closed.
It was
We got there
closed
right at-
off, so we
But-
didn't,
Yeah.
or gated
it's-
off or
it's
whatever.
got a windy little switchback down to it. So from the gate down, especially. So during the fall, you almost can't get up and down it because there's so much leaves on the road. You're just spinning and stuff like that. But we built the front porch on their little cabin, and they've got two cabins set up there, and then the big walk-in natural rock bridge. But the two cabins, we replaced both the roofs on them, and then we did a front porch on one, and we did it all out of rough sawed lumber. We took cedar post and split them into thirds and made handrails and stuff to make it look like it would have been built back in the late 1800s
Very
and
cool.
stuff like that. And that was a fun one, and
Yeah.
you really putting rocks under there to support it and stuff like that. It was fun.
That's pretty neat. There's a lot of cool stuff up here like that, though. Back when I was doing the county reappraisal stuff, some of the places I'd find and some of the places I'd come across, I'm like, this is just awesome. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Hang on, let me get you turned around. Say hi to Uncle D.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I can't. Oh, there you are.
Say that's Travis.
Hello.
Hey, Mom, look at Miss Charlie. And I almost fell out of the chair. Okay, we're gonna go. Love you. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, Uncle D.
See ya.
That's her favorite thing to do on Thursday nights. She wants to call in and say hi to everybody.
I don't blame her.
Famous in
So-
a small town.
We got a question. Will you drive to Oklahoma City to work?
We've done some driving before. I mean, if the job pans out, and we could always arrange something.
So I'm going to see if you know who this is. Scott Newman?
Yep.
Okay.
We
He's-
need to drive there and see him.
He said that Shepherd Construction's best in the biz and then asked if you would come to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I've been telling him I'd come to Oklahoma City for a couple of years now. I need to come see him.
Well, he
Yeah.
just called you out then.
Yep, he did.
Right here on national TV.
It's Facebook. It's official.
The whole world knows now.
Yep. There's no taking it back. So if you're building a shower, do you do it from the pan up? Do you build the pan, or do you just
I build the pan. I do. We'll do a backer board or a Durock board. We waterproof and double waterproof. I like to make sure mine do not leak whatsoever, and that's a big component of mine. And then yep, we'll build the benches. We'll build the soapbox nooks and stuff like that. We've done a few where you can tell the showers for women.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make a little step down at the floor, so it's not so they don't have to raise their leg up too high, but they don't have to sit there with it on the ground in case they want to shave their leg.
Yeah.
You know.
But I will say, I had a reason to ask you if you built the pan. I'll just say kudos to you, because that's not fun.
We done okay, being as we only done it one time in our life.
I only had to kick you out twice.
Not over the pan.
Not
pan
over the
was
pan.
done.
But we had to redo the pan twice.
No.
Yes.
The
yes.
tile, maybe.
No, the pan.
No.
Because he thought, oh, it's dry, it's set, and he put a step stool in there
Oh,
and
yeah, I did do
stood
that.
on it. So punctured like 4 holes into the pan. So we had to redo it.
So we do them all custom. So like if someone would prefer us to use like the Sluter system, like he's done them that way too.
The what?
Well,
It's
they
like
got
a foam board system that's waterproof.
some of
For the walls or the floor?
some of the pans
Okay.
are the floor pans are that way, and some of the wall boards that way. I still kind of build them old school just because I think they're a little tougher. I've seen the Sluter system. Not ones that I've installed, but that the homeowner installed to save some money, where the thin set got too dry while they were putting it on, and the membrane come off the wall and stuff like that. So, you know, I trust the waterproofing system and the way we do it. And like I said, a lot of people want a bigger shower. You know, they've had a 3x5 bathtub their whole life, and we don't need this closet on the other side, and now they want an 8-foot shower and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier to just, when you're building one that custom, to do a floor pan liner and stuff like that, and do a mud floor and stuff like that. The way
Yeah, I don't remember how they done the one in the back.
Yeah, I don't remember. But
By
talking about not needing a closet, we had 3 small bedrooms. We took out a whole bedroom. Like we want a big shower.
That's Kayla's dream shower.
Yeah.
It'll happen one day.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't as big as the bedroom, but it was pretty darn big.
She wants one the size of one of the bedrooms in our house right now. So
Look, I would be standing in the shower, washing the glass or cleaning the glass or whatever, and I literally looked like one of the shampoo bottles. I mean, to us it was huge, and I loved
And
it.
we got to enjoy it, what, maybe a year?
Yeah,
Before
probably.
Before you sold the house?
Yes.
They're good selling points, and I'll give that on the price of showers and stuff like that. The most expensive rooms in a house to remodel are kitchen and bathrooms, and I try to be real fair on our price on what we do on showers and stuff, because I understand a lot of people don't want to just put a tub or a 3-piece back in there and stuff like that. So we try to make it to where somebody can have something nice at an affordable price, and I know how long it takes me to do it. So as long as I make my little wage, and
I know how long it takes.
Kayla knows,
Travis
Kayla
is like,
knows how.
I'll have it done in 4 days. I'm like, no, you won't.
Yeah, she's my timekeeper.
So if you
She's
say
probably the whip cracker too.
If I get in the right mindset when I'm at a job, I can knock a lot of stuff out. You know, that's one thing about me and the way I work is I can usually do about what 2 men can do in an 8-hour day and a 4-hour day. So
He only says
the
I
fat.
crack.
The fat don't slow me down. You know?
He says I only crack the whip when I make him go to 2 or 3 jobs in one day. Like, you could do this.
You got
You
this.
got it.
You
It's
got
just
this.
you, but you can do this.
Yeah.
You got it.
Go ahead, knock them out.
It works until I find some old lady that makes really good sandwiches. Then I'm there on a 3-day job for a week and a half.
Uh-huh.
And he'll sit down and have this sandwich. Yes, ma'am.
I actually, when I done the county thing, I'd get suckered into that kind of thing.
That was his favorite part
Oh,
about
yeah.
the job, though.
I made
If-
a
if-
pie last night. Yeah, I'll take
If
a slice of
if a
that.
sweet little old lady offered me coffee and a porch swing, I'll sit here until you quit talking.
Yep.
It's funny because that's actually why I went into business for myself, was because I'm a talker anyway. I mean, y'all
No.
know. So when I get there, people want to kind of know what's going on and this and that. And had a boss I was working for, and you know, he was stickler about time. You know, we're here at the store at 6:45. We're at the job site at 7. We're taking lunch at 11:30, and he'd have to come to the job and kick me off because I got a half a bucket of thin soda. I'm gonna run it out. No, you need to take lunch now. Just wash it out. You know. But so one morning I went to the job and they said, come in. You know, of course they've been telling me about this loaf of bread they go to the store and get. You know, this multi-grain. Sit down and have a piece of toast and a drink of coffee. Well, I sit down for 2 seconds. He walks through the door.
Of
And
course.
He lost his mind on it, you know, over that. And they say, oh, no, it's our fault. I said, it's fine, you know. So I went to work, got all my stuff done that day. And then the next morning I come in and we're supposed to get all of our tools together and stuff. And I got all my tools together in a trailer and went to go get some more tools. Well, while I was getting tools out of the other trailer, the other guys are taking tools they need out of my trailer. And so I went to the job, and then I get over there, and this is missing, and this is missing. So I'm driving back and forth getting the stuff I need, and he chewed into me about that and sitting there and talking to the customer that morning. I said, well, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to sit there and have that
Well, because
relationship with the
sometimes
customer.
that's all they really want is just somebody
Oh,
to
yeah.
sit and talk to.
But to be fair, all people can't do that.
No.
Some people can't do that and get
Well,
work done.
I get where he's coming from a business standpoint. He needs to have so much done in a week. and
Yeah.
that kind of
Right.
stuff. So I got that. But most of the people I end up working for become lifelong friends.
Mhm.
you know.
Exactly.
There's people I've done work for the last 10 years. You know, and a lot of people that I started doing work for 10 years ago, half of them aren't around. You know, that's kind of why I started the Window Wednesday thing, is because I've known so many ladies who's lost their husbands, and me and them be best friends, you know, by the time they use me 2 or 3 times a year, you know, hey, my wife wants this done, come help me out, come knock this out for me, and so, you know, that keeps me going, and it keeps
So when
them
you say
going.
your Wednesday thing, well,
I was doing a Widow Wednesday thing at the end of last year a little bit. It slowed down with the new baby coming in and stuff the last couple of months, but I was trying to dedicate at least 1 or 2 Wednesdays a month to small things that some of the widows need in town, because I know a lot of them are on a shared income with their husband, and their husband dies and they just don't have the money to put in the house. So like if your stairs are kind of falling in, or you know, they need some stuff took into an attic or something, it gets to where a lot of people don't want to go help do those little things and tasks. And I told her, you know, it's not worth me trying to charge what I want an hour or anything like that to go do a half a day's worth of work for one of these ladies.
right.
I said it'd mean more to me to just give them that half a day or give them a day's worth of work and be able to go knock some of that stuff out for them. And if it keeps them safe from falling through a set of stairs or
Right.
something like that, it means the world to me. And
Well, I don't know how much help I'd be, but if you run into something that you need help with, holler at me.
yeah.
That
He likes doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's one of those that he likes to see.
that's something
What he's
that's
done.
something I can support for sure.
Well, it means a lot to me. My mom and my grandpa, you know, they always said take care of the orphans and the widows and the less fortunate, you know. So we try to be that way as much as possible. I mean, if you ask Kayla, I'd give myself away any chance I get.
Right.
But, you know, we got to make enough living that I can support all them mouths to feed. But
Yeah, still got to feed the babies
still
and pay the
gotta
lights.
feed the babies and keep the lights on. But you know, when it comes down to little things like that, like I said, there's a lot of times that a big company or any company for that matter don't want to go, or when they do, they want to charge $300 or $400.
Well, and it's not personal either,
No,
or
that's-
personable.
And like I said, I started it because a lot of these women have been my customers for years, and I've made money working for their husbands and them and stuff. So you know, it's not like I'm out anything for a half a day's worth of work. And a lot of times I just tell them, if you got the material, you buy the material, and I'll give you the labor for free, and we'll get it done for you.
Well, that's awesome.
We've done
Yeah.
some stairs and we fixed some floors and stuff. for
Some yard
people.
work.
Yard work, yeah. That's not even really on my stuff to do, you know.
Right.
But we had a call about that, and you know, so I took my oldest boy with me, and he loves pushing a lawnmower, running a weed eater, and you know,
We're swinging the machete.
swinging a machete. at the
I mean,
brush.
that's a good way to get them started, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's funny because Tucker, being homeschooled, I take him on quite a bit of jobs because I've had helpers over the years, and it's hard to keep somebody in a 40-hour week paycheck
mhm.
and pay them a good wage, you know. And then there's some, and with a lot of it, it's just you're just a helper, you know, and they're picking up after me, you know, as we're pulling
Right.
out sheetrock or anything like that, or holding the other end of a tape measure or carrying the board over. And he's big enough to do that now, and he knows where to hold the tape measure now. You know, I've got people my age that I had to tell them how to do stuff, and then I've got people my age that Tucker's had to tell them how to do stuff.
Well, and that's what I mean. I mean, you're teaching him young, especially the work ethic portion of it. And I mean, who's to say he may take over Shepherd's Construction one of these days?
You know,
He'd rather go to work than stay home.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, and it's funny because being homeschooled, people are always like, "Well, there's a social aspect to it." And I said, "Well, tell me when you're going to be in a room with 30 people that are your same age ever again after you get out of school." You know.
I think for some kids there's some truth to that, but I mean I would say there's some truth to that even for kids in public school.
Yeah.
Or,
And
you know,
it's funny because he's very willing to want to learn stuff. So, and the older people I work for and stuff like that are real eager to carry on a conversation with somebody who's interested in learning stuff. You know, like one of the guys I did some work for was from Zimbabwe. You know, and he's a white guy, older white guy, but has a real thick accent, African accent and stuff. And him and Tucker's sitting there with his little redneck accent talking about alligators, and he's talking about hippos, and it's funny to watch him. And
heck
They
yeah,
sat there for a couple hours chatting it up.
oh yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
And-
that's cool.
And like I said, he's made some friends too, you know, with
Right.
them, you know, and it's cool to watch. And then, like I said, he's learning. If nothing, he's got something he can fall back on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something like that. It helps him with math, you know, when we're doing decks and stuff, keeping things square, you know. It's one of the people say, when you're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, well, that's the one case where we use it a lot, you know, it's, and keeping things square. And it can be real simple or it can be real hard, but we make it simple, and he's real good at holding the tape measure at the other end, so.
Or that chalk
Nice.
line.
And being a smart butt, some of the employees.
Yeah. My
He gets
mom
that from
used
me,
to
my
always,
bad.
yeah, Nana always used to tell him, you got to work hard, work smarter, not harder, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And we were putting post up, and one day for a lean-to off of a shed, and I had a guy working with me, and we drove a pin in the ground and was running a support piece of wood, and he was about to drive another spike. I said, "We'll just run it off that one." And Tucker's like, "Yeah, you got to work smarter, not harder." And I said, "Well, at least I can tell you've been listening."
Yep. Yep. I mean, I actually say that now. Work smarter, not harder.
He'll be out there showing the workers how to crown boards and I think it's very funny that sometimes he
Well,
knows more than some people.
my little brother has opened up an excavating, and he's called the excavating gravel guy, and he does a lot of stuff in town with land clearing and hauling rocks and gravel and stuff like that, and even he's licensed to do septic and stuff now, and he's doing a big house over towards Miller Point that doing a lot of rock work and stuff, and of course Tucker's over there checking out the equipment and stuff like that, and I said, Uncle Aaron teach you how to drive that skid steer, and I had to go look at another job and stuff, and he comes back with Aaron, he goes, Aaron, I got to learn how to drive the skid steer. He said, wasn't as hard as you thought, was it? He said, no. And then the next day we're at the same job and helping out and stuff. He goes, I hit that tree.
I hit that tree.
I said, at least you didn't hit the house.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Right.
A tree will be okay.
But you're right. I mean, odds are he'll never have to want or need for a job, because as long as he keeps it up.
Well, and the memories that you're making.
Exactly.
Just like him, I hit that tree. He will not forget that. That will be a memory that is stuck in his brain.
That's cool.
Well, Mom kind
and-
of took us and did that a lot with us, as she was a single mother. So like as little kids, we ended up going to a lot of job sites and stuff with her, which she was a paint contractor. Well, hers was abilities unlimited. She did painting, but she'd also do cleaning and all kinds of power wash and other stuff like that. But I can remember as kids like going and staying on houseboats and stuff because she was painting them, or where the Mexican restaurant is now, it used to be Chelsea's, a little diner and stuff, and she painted everything in there, and we got to spend the night in the restaurant one night, because she had to paint it at nighttime and stuff. So we just went up there, and we didn't stay all night,
Right.
She stayed a few hours after they closed and stuff, and I can remember those little toothpicks with the little frilled little sandwich toothpicks.
Oh, yeah.
And we were over here with the straws like blow darts.
Oh, my
knocking
Lord.
cups
Y'all
over.
were being boys.
We were being boys, but
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's memories you never forget.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about when you take your kids to work with you.
And I think we discussed a lot of this last time y'all were in, but y'all both grew up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised.
Well, I wasn't born here, but I'm pretty much lived all my life here. My mom met my little brother's dad, and I moved to town when I was 3.5, 4 years old.
Okay, so that's
That's
considered
close
your whole
enough.
life.
My whole life here, pre-K up. My stepdad's father and stuff, he actually was the superintendent and stuff at like Wilburn School and stuff like that, and so he owns all of Star H Ranch and all the hunt land out there on 92. So we grew up kind of on a farm for most of my childhood.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Wilburn School is it the other side now? What?
Yeah,
Isn't
we're
that
one
right?
of the ministries.
Yeah, one of those ministries.
Yeah, and it was cool. He was trying to cut costs and stuff on stuff back then. So after he'd get done with the day's worth of work of being a superintendent, he'd take his dress shirt and stuff off, put his overalls on, and go out there and lay rock. So he could, half the rock over there on that school, he laid and stuff.
So you said rock, and in one of those pictures,
The flat stack.
yeah. So y'all do that as well?
Oh,
'Cause
it may take
that
a minute to
specific
get there.
picture-
No,
It's
it
Jeff's
already
house.
passed.
Jeff's. Yeah, I love.
And then the stone fireplace.
So in that wood cabin looking deal where the windows, that rock walls, that would.
He did
Is that what
everything
you
in
done?
there.
I did it. I finished that whole inside of that house.
Oh, okay.
That was Mr. Jeff and Becky Thomas's house. It's up on top of Miller's Point, looking over the lake. It's one of the best views. I spent a lot of time there just for the view and for the company.
Right.
And it was real cool. He was from Whitehall, and he brought a bunch of milled lumber up from Whitehall. So all the cedar and stuff you see through there is all live edge cedar. And I made all the red and the white line up and stuff like that from piece to piece, so it looks like
Oh, wow.
one continuous piece. And the landing, he was running out of wood at the end and the landing of the upstairs. He was wondering what to cover it in. Well, he was an electrician his whole life, and I said, you should get a roll of copper and put up there. I said, you spent your whole life, making money running copper. I said, you should do that, and he did it. I thought it came out real cool with the red cedar and the copper.
Yeah, those were some good pictures.
It was a fun one. The staircase in there was real fun. It was slabbed cedar, and then they had pine logs cut in half, so the bottom side's all rounded, debarked, and then a big flat steps. And he brought one of those winches from Harbor Freight, and we hung it in the ceiling on a beam and lifted that staircase up into place. We built it and lifted the whole staircase.
Oh, so you built it and then put it up.
Lifted it up in place.
How cool.
That was a fun one.
You're going to start doing some videos of some of this stuff.
No kidding.
I thought about it, but it's good I'm doing good if I get before and after pictures. She's
That's
always
fair.
like-
That's what Kayla told me
she's like,
earlier.
Do you get pictures of that? And I'll be like, well, it's about half tore out or it's half done.
I spent my video and picture time drinking coffee and eating pie.
But yeah, you need to just get you a little tripod and you can set up a camera so that you could do.
About doing a lot of that, and speeding it up, and so
Well,
you
just
sit
like
there
when
and
y'all
watch
raising
it.
that staircase, that would have been
That
awesome.
It got stuck like up there in it for a second. We had to get up. It was funny to watch us, But and then the same thing on the ceiling of that one. I don't know if there's a picture in there, but I know it's on our Facebook. The ceiling, he had beams and stuff. Well, he put a whole log up there in the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
And tongue and grooved all the way up to the log. And then we trimmed out all the edges and like that juke rope or whatever, it looks like dock rope. But
Oh yeah.
we did a lot of neat work on that house. And that was one of my first big welding projects. And one of the guys down the road brought his welder up, and we welded all the handrails together and stuff. Now I don't have any pictures with the handrail that they have now, but it's up there. But there's squares every so often in the handrail, and he's got interchangeable signs. So during holidays and stuff like that, they can put stuff in.
Oh, cool.
And then other times of year, they pull it out and put pictures of deer heads or ducks and stuff in there. And it turned out to be a really beautiful home.
Wow.
Oh,
And then
wow.
we built and finished that house, and they moved up here. And then his mother-in-law, Becky's mom, wanted to move up there, so we built a mother-in-law house right behind it, and from the ground up. And it's got a lot of neat little features in it too. But
Oh wow.
I think I took the pictures of those off the slideshow, but those are on our
on the business
page.
Facebook page.
Okay.
So if y'all are not already, scan that QR code and go look at some pictures anyway.
yeah, and some of the showers are fresh and new. And like I said, we've been doing it on our own for the last 10 years, and I did it for another 10 before I started. So some of the pictures you might go, well, that's not the tile I would use. Well, 15 years ago, that was the tile that was in. There's a lot of beiges and browns and stuff back then.
And everybody's taste is different.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is.
But it's crazy to see how much the tile has changed over years, because it was a lot of beige and browns, and then you'd have some kind of exotic colors. Well, now you've got pieces that look like slab of marble, and then they've got gold trim and stuff.
I mean,
like
that's just
that.
like these walls. I mean, back in the day, this was the color. Now everybody wants a gray or white, which I'm a white kind of guy. Just keep it simple and it's easy.
We did a big remodel over by Devil's Fork, and they're doctors and lawyers and stuff, and they were turning it into like a weekend and Airbnb thing, and they were white. Everything in that house was white. It was hard to get everything done and out and not go back and do 100
Do little touch-ups.
We did like 5. We went back through and did 5 times because it was simply white, and
Sure,
it doesn't stay white very long.
Well, and the thing with that is it had the old 70s paneling. That house was built in the 70s, and so it had paneling, and instead of putting sheetrock up, they said, well, let's just paint the paneling and go. Well, somebody come through there with pledge or something, and went up the wall. You can tell like the mop, up the mop, you know, 1.5 2 foot up the wall. We primered all the walls. They looked good. We came in and painted them all, and then 3 or 4 days later, all these specks started bleeding through, and it looked like a leopard. You know, the whole bottom 2 foot. So we had to go through and re-kilts everything a couple of times, and we finally got it. It looks good now, though. It's,
Marty says Charlie is better behaved than you.
yeah.
Definitely.
I've had a few comments say she's not even made a peep.
He's like, "Are you gonna hold her the whole time?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's how she's not gonna cry."
I hold her, she goes to fussing or pooping.
Okay, well, you don't hold her.
Yeah,
No.
only at home.
I want a glass house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's the thing now, you know, like the Airbnbs in like Alaska, so you can see.
I know, but I told him, I was like, I'm okay with that. You know, he said, you know,
Till the
no.
first thunderstorm comes through.
I just
Okay, that would be me. And he was like, and no doors other than, you know, your door going in and out of the house. And I was like, no, I got to have a door in the bathroom. He was like, but why? I got to have a door in the bathroom.
Because I want privacy occasionally.
Put your pocket door in there, that way you don't see it.
yeah.
I can remember my grandma had a big glass, like it was kind of like a greenhouse or whatever, like a sunroom, but it was pretty big. It was like probably like a 10 by 20 or something, and we used to sleep out there. But it'd be cool in the morning time because then you could see like the deer and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the birds.
But I'm not down with that if it's lightning and no.
That's her. She don't do good in storms.
I don't either.
I'll sleep right.
Me too.
I'm like,
Well, I will sleep
she's
through it.
made
That's
me
why I
get
try to.
up because there's tornadoes coming through. I'm like, I want to die in bed. I don't want to die running outside to a storm shelter.
No,
I'm checking the app on the phone like every 10 minutes, freaking out.
Now,
I stay
he-
awake until she goes to sleep.
And-
And when she goes to sleep, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I knock myself out. If I know it's coming, it
Just go to
in
bed
at
early.
dark, that's when it typically always comes. But I knock myself out. I'll take a Benadryl or something to knock me out. That way I'm asleep. Then I sleep through it and don't even care.
Not me. I want to look at the phone and check it until it goes past us, and then I'm like, okay.
No. He's one of those that if he knows it's coming, he wants to be outside watching for it. I'm like, are you an idiot or what?
We,
I've done that a couple times.
when
Though.
when me and Kayla first got together, she was you were working down here at the movie store, I think. Well, I think she either got off early or the power went off in town. Well, me and my buddy, we decided we knew a storm was coming in. We're like, we're gonna go fishing before this storm. And it was funny because we were out there, and boom, we start catching them left and right. Just, 3 to 5 pound fish, one after another. And next thing you know, it starts raining. I'm like, well, it'll be over in a second. So I'm sitting in the boat, and we were fishing at a pond. So I pulled up to the bank, and he's like, I don't think it's gonna be over anytime soon. So we get in the truck for a second. Well, there's a big oak tree just 20 foot away. What? Boom! It gets hit by lightning. You know. And every hair on my arm stood up, and I said, well, okay, well, maybe we should get that boat out of the pond. Well, it'd been dry, it was the summer, so the pond had, come back off the bank a little bit, and the trailer was down in that. I went to drive, and it wouldn't come out of there, I said, go hook that come along up to that tree. He goes,
Not that
No.
tree.
not that tree. I'm like, lightning don't strike the same place twice, you'll be all right.
Yes, it does.
She goes, and then about the same time that one hit, she calls me and she goes, lightning just struck the tree in your front yard and it's here on fire. So I'm like,
Who
all right.
fishes during a lightning storm?
Well, no, he does not.
I put the
I'm
pole
not,
down.
I'm not, yeah, I'm not going to go get on the trailer and leave,
No.
but
He will find a boat dock to get under and then wait it out and then go back fishing.
Yeah, I thought we were going to
Idiot.
Well, and then we went to pull out. Well, the boat had 6 inches of water in it by the time we went to go pull out. And so I went out there and I said, well, you get in the driver's seat. And I come along the truck and the boat out of just enough. And it was in a field, so we spun tires. That boat was covered down both sides by the time we got out. We got to the house and the tree in the front yard was split in half and still kind of smoldering. She'd finally calmed down. But
We got a noise out over that time.
The stretches.
Uh-huh.
She grunts like I do. She gets that from me.
Should probably go to the bathroom here in a little bit. Like one of those echoes like we were talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Let her rip,
She
tater
keep-
chip.
She keeps moving.
Yeah,
It'll
no,
be
I
just
don't.
fine.
I don't do storms. No, no, thank you at all.
And that's as loud as she gets.
It's okay.
Who moved her, Mama?
If that's the worst thing that happens all night, we in good shape. So is there any work that you really don't enjoy doing?
I've quit doing so much roofs, the ladders, and
But I liked it.
yeah, I did like the roofs. They were money makers. When I first started, Fairfield Bay had a bunch of storms, so everybody was getting insurance money, and we did quite a few metal roofs and shingle roofs up there and stuff like that. And I guess I'd probably still do a shingle roof if somebody need to. A lot of the roof that I do now is just deck additions. They want a deck off the house with a roof over it or something like that, and that's doable. But
I did a couple roofs in moccasins while pregnant.
while pregnant,
No.
well, she sit up there and told me how to do it.
Threw him shingles.
We actually got rid of one employee because he was rolling out the tar paper, and she was throwing me shingles, and I was nailing them down. Well, I was nailing down shingles so fast. He was left-handed. I always made fun of him, said he was slower because he was left-handed. But he was trying to smoke a cigarette on the roof and roll tar paper out, and he kept having to stop to get the cigarette. And she was like, "You need to get off the roof, take your cigarette break, and get back up here. 'Cause we shouldn't be running shingles faster than you're rolling tar paper."
I've done away with several employees. I mean, it's been several years, but because I was like, I can't with the smoke breaks. They'd be smoking and
Smoke
holding his
breaks and
ladder.
cell
I'm like, he's
phones.
on a ladder. Hold the ladder.
Both hands, please.
Well,
They'd just be smoking and talking or talking on their phone.
Up here with the way ground elevation and rocks and stuff, Mom got me over my fear of ladders, painting with her and stuff. And I was telling this story the other day. I said I'd watch her take the heel of her boot and dig it into the dirt so one leg would sit straight, and then she put a round rock under the other one, and it was so she could lean back and forth to get the paint the spots where the ladder would be.
No.
I think I've seen Travis do some similar
She's
stuff.
seen me do some stuff like that, or I'll be up there one-footed, turned around, trying to reach something. And
Now he has so many feet problems, though, that he tries to avoid ladders.
And I can understand
overhead
that.
Work.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll hang sheetrock and stuff like that, and do ceilings and stuff. But overhead, lots of overhead work kills my shoulders and my back and stuff. So I mean,
The last couple of roofs, he got to the top of the roof and was like, "Yeah, I can't feel my feet." I said, "Yeah, we're gonna quit doing roofs."
Yeah, that's not a good place to
Yeah.
have no feeling in your feet.
Yeah, no. No.
So you finish out sheetrock?
yeah, I've
Start
gotten
to
pretty
finish.
good at matching textures and.
Yeah, he better. He makes me buy him enough tools.
Listen, I will say, that is the one thing I don't think we really ever mastered when we were remodeling our house. Sheetrock is not for the faint of heart at all. Sheetrocking, mudding,
It's an
The-
art.
it is that we did not even get close.
I don't like to say that's what I do, but I mean, we can do it. And like I said, with showers and stuff, we do a lot where you got to take it out, so you got to fix up to it and stuff like that
Yeah.
a lot of times. And so I've gotten real good at it. But I've always laughed because there's that meme that's like, well, sheetrockers, you're just one step closer to being, a drug addict. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna call myself a sheetrocker. But
Yeah.
it's part of the remodel stage, so
So what's your favorite thing to do?
Showers.
showers.
Showers?
I get to sit on a 5-gallon bucket and just play in the mud all day. I mean, it's like being a kid again.
Exactly. Playing with mud pies.
But he's taught me. I feel like confident that I can do a shower, and now so he started teaching Tucker. Tucker cut the tiles. I was like, I think that's pretty impressive.
That is.
He cuts the tiles.
He has before.
Well,
That was the one thing I would not do.
she
But I don't do
she
saws.
don't like saws. She's the
Yeah.
same way. She hates saws.
Yeah.
So, but and I joke because those diamond wheels are pretty smooth, and so I always like stick my finger against it. Say it won't do nothing, just don't get your finger between it and the tile, and you'll be all right, And so I've showed them how to cut.
He gets good where he'll sit in the shower and he'll make me go outside and do the cutting, especially when it's cold, so I can freeze my hands off.
And I've had that. I've done a floor, and this lady moved from Texas, and she bought a 2,800 square foot house, but she moved from a 5,000 square foot house. So every closet, every room had more stuff than it needed in there to move. And we laid this floor. It was plank, so it was 6 inches by 3 foot, and it was on a slab, and that slab had more waves than the ocean in it. So we'd lay a tile, and then we'd have to pop it back up and mud under and lay again, just to get it all and that was before they had all the little self-leveling clips and stuff like that
Right.
now. And I remember it was in the middle of February when we were doing it, and we took RV antifreeze and put it in a tile saw so the motor wouldn't freeze up while we were cutting it because it was so cold outside. We'd go cut 10 cuts and put our pump in a water bucket and bring it inside, and every time we'd leave for lunch, that lady'd she had like 4 little Yorkie dogs, and she'd let them out and they'd run across that tile.
Oh,
One or two over it
no.
like that. It's like, yeah. So,
This is never ending.
yeah.
But that sounds kind of similar to the situation we had when David decided, oh, we're going to start remodeling. We're just going to start today. I'm at work. I get home, go to walk in the back door, and he's yelling at me, "Don't take another step." And I look down, and it's dirt in the crawl space. There was no floor. And it was February, dead of winter.
It was like 12 degrees.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Fixing it.
Well, I decided we were going to go ahead and just start ripping stuff out. And I'm
That
like,
was rotten, and then it turned into all this was too.
and that end of the house in the crawl space, it was up enough. I could stand in the crawl space, stand up and not touch. So that's how far off the ground. I was like, I would have broke my neck if I would have fell, right?
I'd probably an ankle.
Yeah, but they had a telephone pole laying on top of the piers, and a piece of plywood laying over there nailed to it, and then they had just a chunk out of that like power pole cut out of it as a scotch to keep the pole from.
I've seen some stuff around here.
I was like, that ain't gonna work.
I've went under there and seen rocks just, look like a Jenga game.
But nobody believed us that there was actually a power pole
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
in there. So we had to
That's
take
probably
pictures.
the only piece of wood that wasn't rotten.
There was a few others, but it wasn't a bunch.
Yeah.
We replaced a lot of it.
Yeah, we did.
That's all right.
It was nice by the time we got done.
It was.
I'm bad about starting projects.
Not finishing them.
Well, not so much at customer's house, but at my own. It's
That's just the
I
way
get-
it goes. I mean,
she
mechanics,
calls me in
cars,
for
motors.
dinner, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you say supper time,
She'll
It's
be like,
over.
Supper's done. And she's like, then it'll be like, supper was done an hour and a half ago. I was like, well, I had to get it done. I wouldn't have finished if I didn't.
But anything y'all want to tell folks out there that they may not know?
that we haven't touched on.
Anything you can think of?
Y'all's children range from 6 days to
11 years old.
11 years old.
Well, I guess it'll be 12 this year, huh?
Nice.
Got it.
So sweet.
We do
Okay.
everything. Our favorite are the custom showers. He does nice pergolas, nice decks.
Yeah, I seen that one pergola on there. That was nice. I don't understand pergolas though. They just don't really make.
Some sunlight in it, not a whole lot.
It's like a filtered thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're nice to look at. I just don't see the purpose of them. But That's
You can
just
always
me.
throw-
I'm
you
simple
can always
brained.
throw metal on top of them later.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's true.
The structure's there.
Mm-hmm.
You do flooring.
Flooring, trim.
And I see some
Paint.
cabinets. Do y'all do the? Do y'all?
So I've been ordering cabinets from like the Treasure Hill place out of Conway.
Mhm.
We so like the few probably ones you see on there are kitchens that were complete guts, and you know they didn't want to pay to have custom cabinets built and stuff. So we go up there and get, you know, they've got certain sizes. Of course, they can build custom ones
right.
too.
That's
but-
what. Yeah.
That's what we had to do in here.
And so we put them together and mount them on the walls and paint or stain and stuff like that. And I've been painting longer than I want to admit to. So
He's pretty good at it, even though it's one of his least favorite things.
I don't mind painting. I actually, you let me put my earphones in and let me jam out, I could paint this room. I don't know. It's their.
rooms don't bother me, but I mean like whole houses, moving stuff around and
Oh yeah,
you
no.
know, or outside the houses where you're getting up in the eaves and stuff like that. It gets a little. But I mean, I don't mind doing it at all. We like doing it.
And
Yes, it's
doing
spray
fresh
room.
painting is one thing, but when you have to do the scraping and
The cleaning, make
Yeah.
it look like it should. Like I said, my mom was a painter here for years. When I moved, I moved to off for college and stuff, and I was in Jonesboro. And when I moved back to Grish Ferry, I had a few jobs, but my mom got busy. Well, one of the first jobs I had for the summer with her painting, she had was doing Concord schools. Well, they're pirate ship gray and purple. Well, the purple was only an oil base, and she didn't trust anybody to put oil base on anything because it gets all over everything. So I was having to paint that pirate ship gray over everything, and it's all block and brick walls in Concord. So I was like rolling every little crack, and then I said, "Man, it feels like a prison in here, you know, because it's all just gray, and block walls." And then I shouldn't have said nothing because the next job we had was over in Worcester. Dickie Birdsong had built this beautiful custom house for people. It was all tongue and groove wood from the floor to the ceiling, and it was the center of the ceiling in the living room was 6 scaffolds high, and we had to touch every board in that house 4 or 5 times between sand and seal and coating with poly and everything. So by the time I was done, I said, "Well, last one felt like a prison. This one feels like a coffin." You know?
Eternity.
Yes.
Well, guys, we appreciate y'all coming in again.
Yes,
We,
appreciate y'all.
Congratulations on the new hire.
Yeah,
The new boss.
the new boss. Yeah, I'm getting outnumbered.
The CEO.
Uh-huh. Because how many girls?
This is our 4th girl.
Oh, then you are outnumbered.
That's why we named her. We joked because we went to sneak a peek, and they were like, "It's hard to tell. I'm pretty sure it's a girl. Come back in 2 weeks, and we'll tell you for sure." So between the 2 weeks, I'm like, "We'll just. What about Charlie? Because then if it could be a girl or a boy name, you know."
I love Charlie as
She
a girl
never-
name,
She
though.
never grew a penis. Well, so we were joking with Charlie.
Luckily.
We were joking with with Charlie because when I was here, we had a dog named Lucy that was a
Like a yellow lab.
yellow lab or retriever, and at the time Tegas was police here in town had a drug dog that was a golden retriever, and they looked just like. Well, his dog's name was Charlie. And my mom's dog, or we went to my mom's house, and our dog ran up to the school one day, and no one was there. It was in the afternoon. Well, he was driving through town and seen the dog up there, and he's like, "Is that my dog?" And he pulled in there, and he's like, "Charlie?" And it was the way he said it over the phone. I was cracking up, you know. And of course, she just ran right up to him, and then he seen, you know, got the number and called us. We went up there and picked her up. But you know, we've been joking for years. Charlie?
Charlie?
That's sweet. Well, congratulations again.
If y'all need any
She's
cabinet work, tile work,
precious.
he really likes to do tile work.
Tile. I don't mind doing
Showers.
flooring.
But mostly shower. So when I say tile,
Showers.
I-
We do
I'm-
backsplashes also.
Yeah, backsplash.
Yeah, I seen that one picture of the backsplash.
but if you had your pick, showers is the way to go.
Yeah, but she had her pick. I like doing something I like doing something different all the time.
Yeah.
But,
He likes keeping it mixed up.
Yeah.
Then not one certain part of his body hurts. It's just kind of like all over.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You know, you always do the funny story thing. Well, she was like, well, you're going to tell them about the time I was doing a shower for Rob Knighton over here for his mom. You know, we really made her a big shower. And, of course, I had my bucket in there I always sat on. Well, it was getting closer and closer to lunch, so I wanted to be at a certain height on my towel before we went to lunch. So I got to where I was back buttering all the towel, real, you know, and laying them out and then sticking them all up a row at a time. Well, I'd set one down on the bucket and I forgot about it. And I turned around and I sat right down on that towel, and I had the perfect heart shape on my butt where it sat on that towel.
You had a muddy
I
butt.
had a little muddy butt. I tried to get the thin set off them pants. We ran it through the washer and stuff. It never came out. I put it on one day. I was like, is it noticeable? And she's like, it's a heart shape. I was like, well, I can tell everybody I got a heart shape, honey.
Oh my.
Everybody always I laugh because Jason's done a lot of my plumbing for years, but I tell people, I said, I was born with no butt, you know, I'm built like a bullfrog. And I said, I'm in there working or bending over. I said, oh, he's got, you know, 4 inches of butt crack sticking out. And they said, you should have been a plumber. I said, I just got the wardrobe for it.
I just got the wardrobe.
Well, I tell you, one of the best things you can invest in,
I've had some, I break them.
dude. I wear them all the time, every day.
He's got 2 pairs.
I got 3 pair.
Or 3 if you count the leather ones.
Yeah.
But I call them his bra straps. Yeah.
Yeah, I've went through a few of them. They don't make the class where they'll hold up for me.
They keep me from showing my hind end, I tell you.
Yeah, because he was no but showing the plumber crack, and he was hearing me a lot saying crack heels. So,
I'm
yeah.
glad that was a story that you picked.
Yeah. We've had some dudes.
Okay, Kayla, you act like you got a story.
Now, Travis had a story, but that's not the story he said he was going to tell, but it's okay because it just embarrasses me. So.
Oh, well, now you have to tell it.
So we went and looked at a job, and it was for they made it sound like it was going to be like an Airbnb kind of place. So Kayla's over there asking, well, you know, you might want outlets out here because kids like to plug up tablets or phones. And he's like, well, there's not going to be very many kids here, you know. And then the next one's like, well, it's not really like a family thing, you know.
I was
So-
asking if like they rented it out because I was like, I got lots of family, like aunts and stuff that come
Sorry.
do the Airbnb thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just kind of was like, no, it's not really for that. So we go through the house. Well, as soon as I walk in, I'm like, well, it's obvious this is kind of like an adults only kind of place. You know, it's got a big red couch in it. There's
Oh, yep.
artwork down the wall, you know. And
I'm blind.
She,
I'm just
so
saying I need
she's,
glasses.
she's looking at her feet, trying to make sure she's not running into anything. I'm like, I think that was a swingers club. And she's like, no way. I'm like, there was a stripper pole in the living room. And she's
In the living room?
yeah.
They had left like things out in the bedroom. The guys like trying to throw towels over it. The whole time I'm walking down the hallway, my aunt might like want to rent something. Like, are you sure you don't rent it out? You're sure you're not gonna rent it out? Like,
You just kept on with
yeah,
it.
it's your fun.
There's pineapples everywhere.
Pictures, statues.
Well, I mean, the living room is where you're supposed to live, so.
There's some living going on.
I didn't even believe him until the second time we went to meet the guy, and then we sat at the kitchen table and
And you seen it all?
Kind
the
of
pole
looked
was a
through
couple feet away from us, and I was like, "You were not joking."
So apparently y'all done a deck on Whitewood Circle, and it was in the pictures.
Oh, for
Cynthia Barnett. Yeah.
that was a fun one.
She said saw the picture of the deck he did for us on Whitewood Circle. It was so pretty and great to work with Travis.
He did have to do a little custom grate to go over the air conditioning.
Yep, they had air conditioning that was under the deck, but it needed to breathe.
Oh
So
yeah.
we did one with some rebar and stuff over it, so it still has a grate to breathe. And
Oh yeah, but still could walk on it.
still could
So did
walk.
y'all do a pergola over in Heber at the old schoolhouse.
Yep.
The turn for Nick.
It was for our like my therapist lady.
There was a
and she-
therapy place in there for a little while, and we built a pergola over there for him.
God, that building just. Nick-
It used to be the bottle tree, or
Yeah,
something
that I
like
don't know,
It's
but
got a bunch of bottles on the handrails and stuff over there.
gotcha.
Huh.
It's hard to remember to take pictures, so like
Oh yeah.
I'm like the ones that we have pictures of. Let's just put it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good.
Well, and Cynthia works with us now.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, we got a good one there.
We love you,
we think so.
Cynthia.
But we're going to have to fix that camera. 'Cause
What camera?
when I-
Travis?
the main camera? Because when I put it on cast, all I can see is, well, now I can see it, his whole face. It was just his nose.
Who, Travis?
Yeah.
It's because he's not moved over. He doesn't like his wife,
It's okay.
clearly.
Oh, yeah.
I've kept it off. You got close and she backfired?
No, I said he doesn't like his wife, clearly. Hello, they got a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Only got a half dozen. Travis likes to tell people.
Joke, I had a buddy.
But you didn't like him saying half a dozen while ago. She said it sounds weird.
But everybody's like, "You gonna have more?" Well, she don't like the number 6, you know. So I'm always like, I was joking because everybody was asking at church Sunday, "Well, y'all gonna have another one?" I said, "Well, if I get it in by March, we can have a Christmas baby. It'll be 2 this year." You know?
Oh,
Lord.
good Lord.
We have tried the last like 3 for a Christmas baby, and it doesn't ever work out for us. We got February and 2 Mays.
I think y'all's aim is off. Maybe just a little.
I had a buddy's dad that used to always tell me growing up, he's like, "You gotta keep your finger on the tip of it, you know." And then last time we started having kids, he's like, "You know what causes that?" I said, "My fingers are too short."
Oh, goodness. Well, again, thank y'all for coming, and thank you for bringing Miss Charlie.
You're very welcome. Thank y'all for what you do.
Thank y'all.
Yes, thank y'all.
It's great for our community.
Well, I mean, we enjoy it, clearly. I kept telling David, I was like, I'm just ready to go to bed. And then we get in here and sit down, and I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But I'm not going to lie. We've got one. We're gonna
We
on
will
that
be on that side the end of next month.
a month from today.
So,
getting all the questions answered.
Yeah.
yeah. And so, therefore, we're
And
a little
I'm
nervous
feeling it.
about
I'm not digging it.
Well, just fly off the hip. I mean, just like it's hard to come up with questions. It's
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
hard to-
we do it anyway. I mean, you know,
Well,
it's
part
not
of, Part of what
scripted.
makes me nervous is the people that's going to be doing
Yeah.
sitting on this side.
It's going to be the host and the co-host
Yeah.
that's actually the one making us nervous.
Shooting the shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told him I'm used to having my iPad in front of me, and I'm going to be on that side without the iPad. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so
It'll be
Is
all
it
right.
just for the media thing, or is it
Yeah.
for the real estate?
All the
both.
above.
Yeah, it's both.
So
Yeah.
it'll be all right.
It'll be fine. It'll be fun. It'll be real
We just
interesting.
may have less friends afterwards.
You may have less friends.
If they're your friends, they really know how you are, though.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I'm glad it worked out. Charlie's due date was actually tomorrow, so we had her a week early.
Nice.
Well, and after we kept seeing your post, your update post and everything, David was like, I think I'm gonna text Travis and Kayla and see if they want to reschedule or something, because they just had a baby.
And I didn't ask about rescheduling. I just made sure they were good to go.
Well,
Oh.
we would have even been fine with the next day, but we were in the hospital for 4 days, so
Yeah.
this has been the only one. All the rest of them's like right out. But
Well, and I was excited when you posted we got to break out of this place.
me too.
Yeah.
I was like, well, at least they're getting to come home.
You don't like sitting in a hospital bed for 1 day, but 4 days is a little too much.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Then that couches, pull out couch is not fun.
Oh, you had a pull-out couch?
Well, they get, it's not like a bed that pulls
Right.
out. The bottom of it pulls out, and then the back cushions become another part of the mattress that you're.
I guess that's what happens when you're in there with the
You haven't
Pregnant
never
wife.
been in a labor and delivery.
Yeah,
I
that's what
told
I'm saying,
her
that-
after giving birth to that baby, she knows how bad I feel laying on that couch all night. So
I always say that you think they could make them more comfortable. Even the hospital beds, I'm like, make like an extra pillow to put in there or something. But they clearly don't make it for comfort.
she
Right.
told me I'm gonna have to make one.
I said somebody could be a rich, like a millionaire, if they just make like a pillow that went in the hospital bed to like protect the back of the during labor.
Well, if the hospital provide, I got a blanket when I went to the emergency room one time, and that blanket was $800.
That's what I told her. I said,
Yeah, don't ask for ibuprofen.
If I made a pillow just for them beds, I'd probably be a billionaire. You know?
Yeah, no kidding.
Just sell
You
nothing to the
patent it, and as
medical
soon as
field.
you figure it out.
Yeah. But, all right, gang. I think we're gonna. I know I'm ready for a nap.
I want to sleep like that.
I know it's.
I want her to
so
sleep like this
peaceful.
at nighttime.
But she's just like this right here.
That's her it
Carol
place.
always laughs and say they sleep like me. They'll have one hand up and their mouth open and drooling.
But thank y'all for coming and bringing her in. It's so
I was hoping
sweet.
she was gonna talk more.
Nope, she doesn't. As
Oh,
long
you
as
don't
I'm
want
holding
them
her.
to start talking, then they never shut up.
He lives with one that doesn't shut up, so he's used to it.
He's used to
She
it.
that one has an excuse.
Yeah.
She is cuter though.
We're pretty fond.
So,
As you should be.
all right,